guests, graduates, and colleagues. As a trustee of the London Institute of Banking and Finance, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation presentation ceremony at which we celebrate the successes of our higher education and professional programs in London and Abu Dhabi. We are also honoring the founder of one of the UK's fastest growing banks and a senior executive from Abu Dhabi Global Market. We are glad that you could make this event, which had to be hastily rearranged in light of the rail strike on the original date. Given the Institute's strong links with the City of London and its institutions, it is fitting that we are holding our ceremony in this magnificent medieval hall, built over 600 years ago, which is still today the administrative centre of the City of London and its corporation. The building is intimately connected with the office of Lord Mayor. Perhaps the most famous of them was Richard Whittington, who, as we all know from the pantomime, held the position 3 times. What is less well known is that he made a significant amount of money from a medieval version of payday loan schemes for the King of England in his day. "You can pay me back when you win the war," he said. So profitable was this that when Whittington died, he left enough money to build houses for the poor, establish a prison and a hospital, as well as a large library within this very building, thus providing the means for the growth of scholarship and the dissemination of knowledge. Since Dick Whittington's day, this building has been used for many different purposes. For many years, it was a law court and the scene of some very famous trials, including one which led to a huge outpouring of public outrage against the treatment of slaves. And this eventually led to the abolition of the slave trade. So this hall has witnessed some important moments in our history, which brings us to today, a very special occasion in your lives. It is fitting that on such a special day that we are celebrating in such a famous building. In these extraordinary times, it is more important than ever that we join together to celebrate your considerable achievements. Today marks the culmination of a huge amount of hard work on your part, and ours too. On these occasions, I usually commend our graduates for successfully navigating the challenges that have presented themselves during their time with us. Financial, intellectual, and organizational pressures can present difficulties, even in normal years, particularly for those who have juggled study alongside full-time employment. And you have my great admiration for coping so well and emerging triumphant with a qualification, which we are confident will open many doors for you. You have, in addition to your academic achievements, shown a great deal of resilience and adaptability, quality that we will all need in a post-COVID world. Today is a good opportunity for me, on behalf of the trustees, to thank the faculty, the professional staff at the Institute for their commitment. Join me in a round of applause to send our appreciation. Standing by you during your journey have been your family, friends, and supporters. Today is also an important occasion to acknowledge the major part that they have played. And finally, I would like to thank the banks and other financial institutions for their valued support for all of our programs and our students. Now, today, you are joining our alumni community who share our commitment to developing and maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and competence. I hope very much that you will stay in touch with us and each other and become active members of the alumni community. We will be very interested to hear about your progress and to support you in any way that we can. We also need your support because the experience and insight you gain as you build successful careers will become invaluable to our students in the future. Passing on your knowledge and advice to the next generation, helping others to achieve their ambitions as you yourselves have been helped. This is one of the most fulfilling and rewarding things that we can do in life. Indeed, I want to thank those of you who have already contributed your time to support the Institute in various ways. You have really made a difference to us and to your fellow students. This is a remarkable moment for international banking and finance in the UK, indeed a quite remarkable moment, and one which is a very special moment for you, our graduates. We wish you all the very best for the future. It is now my enormous pleasure to introduce Dr. Claire McCafferty, Director of Studies at the Institute, who will formally open the presentation ceremony. Now, I'm originally from New York City, where we believe in properly celebrating achievement. So as this is a celebration, please feel free to make some noise.
Thank you, Professor Annette. Congregation, I am pleased to present the following awards that are conferred by the London Institute of Banking and Finance. Each student has pursued the relevant course of study successfully. For the award of Professional Diploma in Banking and Finance, Amy Baxter. Paloma Carvalho. Husham Siranani Nizad. Anne Fahy. Amit Latia. Gaynor Morgan. Vishali Tridkar. For the award of Advanced Diploma in Banking and Finance, David Angus. Theo Brooks. Olivia Coffey. Sarah Drake. James Hobbs. Mark Kennett. Pravinder Sohal. And Lauren Tomlinson. For the award of Level 6 Diploma in Financial Advice, Paul Andrews. Mark Ball. Liam Chapman. Erica Deitch. Samuel Fadimilan. Jack Mason Brown. Nee Morelli. Charlotte Owen. Shrikesh Patni. Owen Salamo. Sophie Smith. Min Tapa Darlami. Charlotte Walters. Charlotte Whiteley. Ashley Whiting. Craig Williams. For the Apprenticeship Chartered Associate Programme with Financial Services Management, Nicola Banks. Saad Chowdhury. Natalie Glassick. David Hewitt. Ansa Javed Khan. Jane Porter. Stephen Shearing. Katrina Strickland. Rachel Talley. And Gareth Whittle. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome Alex Fraser, the Chief Executive of the London Institute of Banking and Finance.
Thanks very much, Claire. Distinguished guests, graduands and colleagues, at our graduation ceremony each year, the London Institute of Banking and Finance confers its highest academic award, an Honorary Masters Degree, on a very distinguished member of the financial services community to recognise their contribution to the industry. Now, this year's recipient needs very little introduction, so my introduction is going to be very little. But the notable career of Anne Boden stretches back over 40 years and has encompassed senior roles at some of the UK's largest financial institutions. After graduating from University College of Swansea, Anne initially intended to seek a role in IT, which would have been a logical step given that her degree was in chemistry and computer science. But as a backup plan, she successfully applied for a role as a graduate trainee with Lloyds Banking Group. Having spent 4 years at Lloyds, she then left to become head of systems and processes at Standard Chartered's UK corporate bank. And during her time at Standard Chartered, she successfully completed an MBA at Middlesex University. She later served on the board of trustees of Middlesex, and that institution awarded her an honorary doctorate a few years ago. Following her time at Standard Chartered, she was appointed to increasingly senior roles at UBS, Aon Corporation, RBS, and eventually at Allied Irish Banks, where she was appointed Chief Operating Officer in 2012 to sort out the mess caused by the financial crisis. So Anne had a very successful career, which would have been enough for most people, but not for Anne, because, of course, she is best known for what she did next, founding her own online bank in 2014. Now, I don't know if you can recall, but at that time there was a huge amount of frustration with traditional banks, their clunky processes, their slow response times, their inadequate online provision. And Anne's aim was to create a bank which was easy for customers to deal with. What was not remotely easy was to build a truly disruptive bank while keeping a very tight control on costs, and also most difficult of all, ticking the right boxes with the bank regulators. It was hard enough to raise the cash, particularly as potential investors preferred to back guys in their 30s with goatee beards rather than a woman in her 50s. Those are her words, not mine. Despite all these different challenges, Starling has grown from strength to strength. Described as the Amazon of banking, it has built a hugely loyal customer base over the past 7 years, with more than 2.5 million users and more than 350,000 small and medium-sized businesses. It has been referred to as the grown-up challenger, and it has won Best British Bank awards many years running, and Anne herself has received numerous accolades and awards over the past decade and received an MBE for services to financial technology in 2018. Outside her role at Starling, she is a member of the board of UK Finance, advisor to UK Government's Board of Trade, and member of the World Economic Forum. And her book, Banking on It, which was published in 2020, is a real page-turner. I thoroughly recommend it. Anne is a shining example of someone who has a clear purpose, the tenacity to see it through, and she is a very worthy recipient of this award. And it's now my enormous pleasure to ask John and Annette to make the presentation of a master's degree in banking and finance honoris causa to Anne Boden.
This is so exciting. I'm so proud to get this very special award in this very room. I'd like to say something about how special, this whole thing is to me. As a graduate trainee coming to London in 1981 to join Lloyds Bank, we were taken on a tour of the city to see the great institutions, to see what London's all about. And I remember in my first week coming to this room and standing at the back. Little did I know that I'd spend my whole career in this industry and be very proud to be part of it. Here today, you're sitting here having your awards, getting your degrees. And you're probably thinking, what does the future hold for you? But this stage can be terrifying too. I remember having my very, very first panel on this stage and shaking as, people mic'd me up. I remember coming on this stage and doing fireside chats as I became more distinguished and more senior in my role. But nothing prepares you for this day, to be honoured by such a wonderful institution and to give this speech to you starting your careers or in the middle of your careers or at the end of your careers in this very important industry. I started a bank when I was 54. You all can start careers any time in your life. And on that point, I'd like to thank you all for listening to me here today. Studying for and then receiving your degree is a big life event. The fact that you've all chosen to study banking and finance is something to be celebrated too. Now, you could say that since I founded and now run Starling Bank, I might be a little bit biased, but bear with me. Banking and finance is at the intersection of everything we do. Think of all the big life decisions that you make. Maybe renting a flat or thinking about saving up for a mortgage. Perhaps you've been working part-time to fund a gap year or to buy your first car. If you signed up to a student loan to study for something, it most likely you did it in the knowledge that your course would improve your career and your life prospects. Money and how we earn it, save it and manage it is at the centre of all we do. Working in this sector makes for an interesting career too. We've come a very long way from the time a few decades ago when people spoke about the high street banks in hushed, reverential tones. The world of banking was so often linked in the same sentence as relationship. In reality, relationship banking was never as balanced as it should have been. It often boiled down to a man in a bowler hat, it was normally a man, who ran the local branches with a firm hand. Yes, there were relationships, but only for the privileged few. Fast forward to today, and banking is about offering great financial capabilities to everyone. We are no longer entirely beholden to the physical banks on the high street. Each person here can manage their entire financial lives from their phone. And I think some of you are doing it now. It is our own personal financial hub, which we take with us everywhere we go. We don't need to wait until 9:30 for the bank to open or to dash to the counter before it closes at 4:30. If we bank whenever and wherever we want, we can use our phones to shop around for the best deals on mortgages or insurance, so there's no need to be loyal to one financial provider or that indifferent bowler-hatted bank manager. Digital banks like Starling Bank even encourage activity through the marketplace feature, where account holders can directly access carefully hand-picked financial products to quickly apply for what they need. The ability to sync their details cuts down on admin and wasted form-filling time. What really excites me about banking in this, something that the UK is really, really good about. Last year, this country saw a record year for fintech investment, with $11.6 billion raised for startups and businesses like mine, representing 11% of all global capital invested in this sector. So just think about that. Global fintech is very important, and London is extremely important in that sector. The fantastic number of fintechs we produce now see us ranked as the second in the world, behind the US. We have been called the fintech capital of Europe. As a nation, we don't manufacture as many cars or washing machines as we once did, nor do we produce as many textiles. However, we do know an awful lot about ones and zeros, the digital world. These ones and zeros are behind the technology that makes finance accessible to all and has a huge impact on our people's lives. Our skills are in demand around the world too. Last month, I spent a week in Australia showing Engine by Starling to major banks and finance houses there. This is Starling's software as a service product, which offers all the components that any organisation would need to run in a highly competitive and cost-efficient bank. For full disclosure, I have to admit that in previous jobs, I also spent some time in some countries such as Kazakhstan in a transaction banking role. I think this proves that a banking career can take you anywhere. I see the importance of our role growing in our home market too. We are, as everyone knows, facing highly uncertain times economically. The UK economy has already been in mild recession, inflation and energy bills are soaring, and household budgets are being squeezed. There has been a surge in demand for help from food banks as the cost of living crisis pushes more families into poverty. If I think back to myself as a 21-year-old, when I graduated full of big ideas and lots of ambition, I could never have imagined that the world would be still so socially divided as it is today. It is quite simply shocking. As a profession, we have a big role to play here because there's never been a more important time for everyone to get on top of their own finances. We need to be responsible, caring bankers and help in any way we can. But what can banks do? In the past, in fact, up to a few years ago, the banking model was characterised by a lack of transparency, perhaps more than any other industry. The fee structure was complicated and opaque, frequently leaving customers frustrated, confused, worried about unexpected penalty payments that could send them into the red. This set off a cascade of further fees, pushing accounts in a downward spiral. That has now changed. Thanks to innovations brought in by a new generation of app-based challenger banks, which were then followed up elsewhere, customers are accustomed to seeing their balances at a glance, as well as the details of upcoming bills. Bank apps give individuals control over their income and outgoings and also help showing them how simple things, changes in their behaviour, will help them save money. This is where our financial hub, our phones, comes into its own. I likened it to having your very own financial advisor at hand and ready to help 24/7. Then we can track in real time what we're spending. We're less likely to make costly mistakes. If our weekly budget has been carefully planned and monitored, it takes at least some of the pressure off. But there is more we can do. Data science can, for example, come into its own here to help detect account holders who are in vulnerable positions before the situation gets out of control. Machine learning capabilities can help us create a range of budgeting tools. Data analytics can be used to show us what people need to get through a difficult period. Banks can also play a key role in supporting businesses, many of which are very hard hit by the very same factors that are impacting consumers. Rising energy costs and inflation. Last month, the Federation of Small Business reported that 53% of small firms expected to collapse, shrinks, or at best stagnate over the next year, leading to a generation of lost businesses, jobs and potential. Since launching Starling Bank's business account just over 4 years ago, I've had the opportunity to observe thousands of innovative SMEs on their entrepreneurial journey. What they value is similar to what our current account customers rate: an easy-to-use banking service where they know exactly what they have in their accounts, what they've spent, where and how much. But as for our current account customers, we're always looking at what we can do more to help in this difficult time. We're introducing new features each month to help the process of managing finances smoother and free up more time for business owners so they can focus on steering their business through the current crisis. While we are quite understandably preoccupied with the important role we are playing right now, we also need to think about our future and keep on innovating. Even once we get through the current downturn, we must be constantly aware of our financial needs change all the time. If I look back at my career, there have been a series of changes as I have progressed through my career, and with each step I needed something different to help me with my finances. It wasn't always obvious where to go or how to get the help and advice that I needed. That was fine for me because it was my career. But this isn't the same for everyone. We have made huge progress thanks to digital, and we can and should do more. We have the skill set. We should share what we know. We should also consider the larger picture. What are the issues that have become the most pressing in the years to come? My view is we will become increasingly involved in sustainable finance initiatives. We've already seen concerted pushes for investment decisions to be made in the context of environmental, social and governance, ESG concerns. Our sector wields significant power here, whether it is supporting research and development of alternative energy sources or prioritising businesses that follow fair and sustainable practices. How can we prepare ourselves as an industry to play a further role in creating a sustainable future? We are, as I've said, at the intersection of everything, so we need to spend some time figuring out where we go from here. The time to begin doing this is now. Speaking about my favourite subject to you all here today, I am more enthusiastic than ever about the sector. There was a time a decade ago when I used to actively hide what I did. After a career spent working in traditional banks, I was more than aware of what most people thought of us bankers, particularly after the 2008 financial crisis. That's changed completely now. I am incredibly proud of being part of this very important profession. The banking industry is at the centre of our current economic stresses. And each one of us, wherever we are in an organisation, can do our bit to make sure that our organisations are fit for purpose. And when we deal with customers, whether they are individuals or businesses, we continue to be proud to be bankers and never lose the heart. Because there's an industry we can be proud of, and there's an industry we can be ashamed of. And I think we're now in a position where we expect leadership from this industry, leadership from bankers, and leadership from you, people at the start of their career, to make sure that we never make the mistakes of the past. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm really excited to be with you here today. I'm proud to be a banker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne. I am pleased to present the following qualifications where each student has pursued the relevant course of study and has satisfied the examiners. The award of Professional Certificate in Banking, Jordan Cheng. The award of Bachelor of Science in Banking Practice and Management with Honours, Liam Britton. Lewis Broadhurst. Melissa Drew. Thomas Freeman. Thomas Godfrey. Katie Griffin. Ellie Johnson, who graduates with first-class honours. Grace Lethwich. Kevin McKenna, who graduates with first-class honours. Sam O'Neill, who graduates with first-class honours. Macy Palmer. Joseph Reddington, who graduates with first-class honours. And Jonathan Wilson. For the award of Bachelor of Science in Banking and Finance with honours, Issa Ali. Rehards Boris. Umar Chowdhury. Mohammed Chowdhury. Chloe Davis. Riley Hare, who graduates with first-class honours. Tia Kakamboa. Rebecca Knight. Nawal Larousi, who graduates with first-class honours. Jasmine Rampton, who graduates with first-class honours. And Radistina Semerdziva. For the award of Bachelor of Science in Finance, Investment and Risk with honours, Ilyas Abadali. Harry Bax. Arian Atemi. Jamie Glancy, who graduates with first-class honours. Dion Graham. Raphael Harris, who graduates with first-class honours. Jake House. Hayden Miller. Mariah Morgan. Kieran Mulhall. Joseph Peckett. Michael Singh. Harry Smith. Tommy Sproul, who graduates with first-class honours. Alfie Taylor, who graduates with first-class honours. Dilakshana Tivantaram. Jack Towler, who graduates with first-class honours. And James Whitehouse. I now present our Level 7 programmes for the award of Executive Certificate in Sustainable Finance, Hussam Ahmed Ali Abdullah Monai. Dilip Sanghavi. For the award of Executive Certificate in FinTech, Mohammed Salim. And for the Master of Science in Banking and Finance, Zubair Ahmed. That concludes the presentation of awards. The London Institute of Banking and Finance now confers the certificates, diplomas and degrees awarded in Amsatia to those students who are unable to be present today. Each has pursued the relevant course of study and has satisfied the examiners. Please offer them your congratulations also. I now welcome back Alex Fraser.
I'd like to add my thanks to the Level 7 students who came all the way from Abu Dhabi to receive their awards today. Thank you so much for being with us. Every now and again, the trustees of the Institute bestow an honorary fellowship of the Institute on an individual. It doesn't happen very often. It's a very distinguished group made up of very senior bankers, some members of the House of Lords, and even a former Prime Minister. And no, it's not Boris. So this year's recipient is joining a very distinguished group. Hamad Al Mazrouei is one of the senior leadership team of Abu Dhabi Global Market. He's currently Chief Operating Officer, and in that role, he leads the Corporate Services Division, and his team support the growth of this award-winning international financial centre based in Abu Dhabi. Hamad is also Chairman and Managing Director of the Abu Dhabi Global Market Academy, the arm of the financial centre which is focused on knowledge and education. In this role, he has played and continues to play a leading role, in fact, the leading role, in providing young Emiratis opportunities to embark on a career in banking. In the last 3 years, thanks to Hamad's thoughtful leadership and his wonderful ability to bring different stakeholders together, all drawn by his vision and commitment to education. Several thousand young people have been recruited into Abu Dhabi's largest banks and created better future prospects for them and their families. Hamad has over 20 years' experience in strategic organisation and business development environments, focusing on developing strategies, systems, standards, building capability and organisations, delivering operational excellence. Prior to joining Abu Dhabi Global Market, he held senior positions in a number of private and public sector bodies, including ADNOC, the oil company, and the Ruler's Executive Council. He is an active member of the UAE-UK Partnership Consortium, a body that seeks to build closer links between our two countries. Now, in bestowing the Honorary Fellowship, our trustees consider, yes, of course, the career, but we also look a lot further. We look for strong evidence that the person shows a commitment to education and shares our values. Hamad's contribution to furthering education and to ensuring that young Emiratis, the vast majority of whom are female, are equipped with the right skills, the right competencies, and maybe most of all, the confidence to succeed in banking. His contribution is immense, and we are very pleased that Hamad and his guests are with us here today. What he has done is truly transformational. I'd now like to invite Hamad onto the stage to receive his award from Professor Annette.
Thank you, Alex. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and graduates sitting in this hall today, a very good afternoon. I'm really touched and moved with this award, which summarizes an achievement of my personal goal, which has contributed toward my professional achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are expecting me to say some words of encouragement. Which you will capture as a guiding line for your future. Please don't. I would like to share with you my personal story that will probably give you some indication of how it made me achieve my success till date. I had a very simple start in my life, influenced by the dreams of others wanting me to be an element of their dreams. But this was not me. Since childhood, I was geared toward bringing an impact that make me stand above and beyond others. After obtaining my bachelor degree from the US, I came back to the UAE, full of energy and passionate to bring the change. My first job taught me the essence of responsibility and making a meaningful impact. I joined as an associate trainee, and within 6 months, and through taking responsibility, became a main enabler, coordinating operation business between 2 remote offices in 2 different Emirates. The lesson learned was taking the responsibility leads to achieving bigger ambitions. And the second phase of my career taught me to master specific skills that make you a valuable asset, irrespective of the organization you are in. These skill sets have helped me to deliver effective and efficient solutions. In the last 2 years, COVID, digital transformation, blockchain, crypto, 15-year-old millionaires. See, the world that are we living in, you have to continuously change to perform effectively. The lesson I want to highlight here is that time is not of importance, but instead, your ability to adapt with changing times is critical. So, where do we go from here? My dear friends, remember, the world is your oyster. It is you who will define your future. Invest in yourself. Learn every day. Adapt to changes. Take responsibilities. And remember, failure is your best teacher. 3 years ago, a vision turned into a paper plan. Now, a multi-million-dollar institute called the Abu Dhabi Global Market Academy. With this vision and paper, we came to our dear friends, LIBF. Collectively, we achieved and delivered an impossible feat. And what do I mean by impossible? Our partnership, which was built on the foundation of fostering future talent. Beyond that, we were a reason to create more than 2,000 jobs in the last 2 to 3 years, driving economic, social, and financial impact. This is what really summarizes our success till date. Dear friends, if you have to take one thing from this, it is the power of application. Let me say that again. It is the power of application. And what differentiates between success and failure is a thin line between an individual who applies versus a person who is not motivated to apply their knowledge. Apply. And if you fail, you are one step closer to success. And to conclude, I would like to ask Mr. Alex Fraser, CEO of LIBF, Mr. Karim, LIBF Middle East Managing Director, Mansour Ja'far, CEO of ADGM Academy, and Jassim, Director of Business Development in the ADGM Academy, to stand up and give them an applause, because they are a reason for where we are today and why I'm here today standing and getting rewarded on this stage. Thank you very much. Please. Once again, graduates, family of graduates, congratulations, and thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamad. Each year, the London Institute of Banking and Finance makes awards to those students who have achieved the highest overall marks, made in a particular contribution to their programme, or supported their cohort through student engagement and representation. The student engagement prizes are presented to the following students. For the Chartered Associate Programme, Financial Services Management, Gareth Whittle. Bachelors of Science in Banking Practice and Management with Honours, Jonathan Wilson. Bachelor of Science in Banking and Finance with Honours, Nawal Larosi. Bachelor of Science in Finance, Investment and Risk with Honours, Jamie Glancy. We also recognise students who have demonstrated outstanding academic achievement through their studies. This year, the Academic Achievement Prize are presented to the following students. For the Bachelor of Science in Banking Practice and Management with Honours, Ellie Johnson. Bachelor of Science in Banking and Finance with Honours, Riley Hare. Bachelor of Science in Finance, Investment and Risk with Honours, Raphael Harris. For both the Student Engagement and the Academic Achievement Prize for the Chartered Associate Programme, Financial Services Management, these are awarded to Nicola Banks. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome our alumnus speaker, Cory Knight.
I just want to say I'm a bit nervous, and there's a wave of people in front of me, and it's a little bit blurry, so I'm going to take my time. Just want to say good afternoon, everyone. What an honour and a pleasure it is to come up here and speak to all of you at such an amazing graduation event. Like many of you, not so long ago, I was sitting in your shoes thinking, what's next for me? When I've done these speeches in the past, I've started with how I begun. However, this time I thought, should I change it a bit and start where I am now? Today, I'm currently the Audit Operations Manager at the London Stock Exchange Group. For those who don't know, the London Stock Exchange Group are a leading global financial markets infrastructure and data group who play a key role in the financial stability and economic growth of economies around the world. For anyone wondering, I did quote that from our website. We have some key business areas: capital markets, home of several capital formation execution venues like the London Stock Exchange, AIM and Turquoise. We have data analytics and indices, which have key businesses like our Refinitiv product and the FTSE Russell. We also have post-trade, where we have a global clearinghouse and we support clearing and reporting obligations for institutions. Why I mention all of that? It's a good question. Hopefully the rest of this speech provides the answer. So life before the Institute. Here's where the fun began. Like many young people, I had big aspirations. Maybe becoming an icon, a star. What would that be? What would I do? Before my professional career started, I attended a football academy between the ages of 17 and 19. This academy was a 2 to 3 year program where we studied a BTEC diploma whilst receiving a full-time football program to a professional standard. There was about 50 to 60 of us, all with one goal, to become a professional footballer. I thought this was the road to stardom. Fast forward a bit, the dream wasn't so long-lived. One day I was pinched by a stranger. That stranger came in the form of reality. Although I was able to live my dream for a short while, it was bittersweet. Sweet to have experienced being with my friends every day, training full-time, and enjoying some incredible moments that I would remember to this day. Like playing at a professional stadium in front of a few hundred fans. I think those experiences have given me the confidence to be able to speak in front of you today. Anyways, the bitter, I wouldn't say any of it was bitter, as it paved my path for where I am today and who I am today. Once that sweet moment came to a gradual end, I then embarked on my new journey. As you can imagine, I didn't have a solid plan, and I somewhat went with my parents' advice, who was always business and accounting focused. I also had my eldest brother, who was a personal banker at the time. But here's my new plan. Eventually, I decided to attend the University of Brighton, studying finance and investment. Not only was this degree difficult academically, I was also commuting from London to Brighton 4 days a week. During this time, my now 13-year-old son was born, so after the first year, just scraping the 40% mark, I decided to stop studying and start working full-time to support my family. I did this for about 7 months, but then decided it wasn't something that I wanted to do long-term. In that same period, my now 12-year-old daughter came along. I then decided I needed a longer career. I decided I wanted to go back to uni, but to do what I thought. Well, I'm here today, so 3 guesses. This is how the LRBF impacted my career. I went on to study my undergraduate degree in banking and management, in banking practice and management. That's what it was called at the time. The faculty here was incredibly supportive. The course content, the industry experience from the lecturers, and the different events and networking forum allowed me to take even more control of my career. I can wholeheartedly say the Institute had a massive impact on my career path today. I had many ups and downs, I had challenges where I had to navigate, and from early interactions with the Institute when I was in college, studying the foundation certificates, to completing my undergraduate degree, I would never have thought the Institute would have such a long-lasting impact on my life. Many years later, I can openly say that the Institute changed my life. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the support of everyone at the Institute. During my second year at LRBF, I completed an assessment day at Barclays, where me and 3 other LRBF students were offered summer internships in Barclays internal audit. That moment pretty much changed my life. I went from an internship to a permanent analyst role. After 4 years at Barclays, I moved to Quilter PLC. I spent 2 years in internal audit operations. Then I decided to return to Barclays, where I took up a role as a business manager in internal audit, and I spent a further 2.5 years. Lockdown was a massive struggle for me, and I know for many of us in this room as well, it had the same impact. However, there's a saying, and don't quote me, through great struggle comes great reward. And ironically, I actually think I remember this from doing an assignment at university. The reason I say this is in the summer of 2021, I was fortunate enough to secure my current role, which for me was a massive achievement and a massive step. Adding up all those years, I'm quite proud to say I've been in the industry for almost 10 years now, which I never would have thought I would have been here if I looked 10 years back. I am proud to have attended the LIBF and proud to be part of the first cohort of undergraduate students. I like to consider myself somewhat a role model for future students, and I believe I have a little bit of knowledge and experience that I can pass on. I'm part of the LIBF community and alumni because I believe the LIBF played a pivotal role in my career and my life in general. I feel incredibly privileged to still have these affiliations, to be able to talk at events like this, to share my experiences, and to be part of these memorable moments and seeing the faces of all our hope-to-be future leaders. To round this off, going back to why I started with where my career is now, I hope this brief snippet can resonate with a few of the graduates today, demonstrating that today can bring your springboard into your new careers or to excel in the careers you're in already. You have a plethora of opportunities waiting for you. All you need to do is take one of them and showcase your talent. This amazing journey you're all about to start or continue will be challenging, but don't shy away from those challenges. Those moments will make you and will bring further gratitude to where you get to in the future. You're all incredibly gifted, clearly, from all the awards that have been handed out today. And I would say you're all courageous as well, because it's not easy to continue doing your degrees. You have, in my opinion, you have demonstrated determination, perseverance, and courage. You should all be proud. You've made your friends proud. You've made your family proud. But most of all, you've made yourselves proud. So congratulations, and I commend you.
Thank you, Cory. During the ceremony, I looked around this wonderful venue, and it occurred to me that even though it is us who are sitting here on the stage, the true stars of today are you sitting here at the front. So congratulations to you all, as it is through your hard work and dedication that you have achieved the recognition and qualifications awarded to you today. But we are also marking something else unique. That is your resilience and determination. We all know that the last few years have not been easy, but you have adapted and rose to those challenges. And now, as a graduate, looking forward, you have a very important role to play in building a future. And you will be able to do this with the tools and knowledge you have gained through your studies, your learning, and your experiences. You can truly make that impact to drive change. So, as you leave here today, you too will be joining our thriving alumni and membership community. Being part of this community gives you the chance to support the aspiring financial services professionals following you. You could consider becoming a mentor or perhaps an alumni ambassador. It is these networks that will support you and give you more chances to grow and become successful in your careers. However you choose to engage, please do remain connected with us. And graduates, as you know, during your journey, well, actually, probably even before your journey even started, You have been supported and guided by some of the most important people in your lives: your family, your friends, your colleagues. They have all been there to encourage you through your journey. The support may have been moral, emotional, or even financial. So yes, today is about you, but it's also about them and the journey that they have been on, hand in hand alongside you, through your ups and downs, stresses and celebrations. So I ask you in a moment to take a look around and really show your appreciation for everyone who's been there to support you during this time. And please make some noise. Thank you. Congregation, the formal proceedings of today's graduation and presentation ceremony are now concluded, and I would like to invite you all to join us outside in the courtyard for a group photograph and to continue the celebrations. And finally, on behalf of the London Institute of Banking and Finance, I extend to each and one of you our very best wishes for a successful and rewarding career. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2022.